we wanted to just cover some specific tips and things that we are using, and we actually go to a variety of venues. For instance,
the Rotary Club, Sertoma Club, and the Kiwanis Club, and the Lions Club.
And we go there and we share. It takes about 20 minutes that we share. We have a talk that we share, and it really is, it's based on our new up-and-coming book. Hey, that's backwards. Unlimited You, okay? And I know that's readable. There is a way to flip the image around in this video camera. We'll figure that out next time. But I appreciate every one of you being here, and we're excited to be here with you. And, you know, like I said, we'll probably postpone this so we can get a little bit more organized. Just mainly I did have another video chat open, but for some reason or another I closed it. We had all our settings and everything there, ready to go.
Everything just crashed, and then we had to reboot and start over again.
Yeah, our whole actually a online modem went out while we were starting, so unbelievable. But we're glad you're here and you're helping us make sure that we can get this figured out. But we've been busy working and preparing. And
yeah, we have a passion and an urgency to help people find that joy in their passion of where they're at in life, because there's so much trauma, so much challenges and obstacles that stop us from living that passion. And
you know, we one thing that we do add and we talk about in our class is Jim Rohn. He had an analogy which is very, very powerful, and what he talked about was that we're all like little boats. Imagine a small boat, and he said that the winds blow the same on all of us. It doesn't matter. Sometimes they're positive winds that blow. Obviously there's negative times. There's economic winds where there's a shift where and there's been that happening in a lot of people's lives. In fact, you know, recently 401s being depleted and a lot of different things happening, but at the same time there's the winds of blessing, the winds of financial growth and that take place in our lives as well. And in every area of our lives, even our health and wellness and vitality, there's those times, those good times, those moments you feel great, you're wonderful, and those times that you're dealing with some issues in your health. And so what Jim Rohn says that the wind blow the same on all of us. He said, but it's not the wind that determines your destination. Okay, what he said was so powerful. He said that what determines your destination is the setting of your sail. And so in our classes and what we talk with people about is the setting of the sail is what determines the destination of where you want to go in life. And so in all of our where it concerns our goals, our aspirations, and we help people become more clear about those things so that they can set their sail. And those sails all too often are based upon external things in our world that blow. It's the wind that blows and says, you know, it tries to determine our course for us. But if you know exactly what the direction and the purpose and the design that you were created for, and you begin to set the sail, and Jim Rohn talks about it by having the right philosophies in life. The right philosophies, in other words, having the determination and certain core values where it concerns your life and your destination. But once you set the sail, the winds can blow all they want, and if we can do that, then we can get to our determined outcome.
Yeah, like I had a friend in California who worked for like 20 plus years for the state of California, and she had her 401k set, her retirement set, and she was, you know, nearing the end of her retirement. She was doing great, loved her job, she was passionate about it, but one day they decided to downsize the staff, and so she was chosen to be retired early. Well, immediately she lost all her income. She lost even her retirement unsuspectedly because they just didn't have enough in the funds for her. She was devastated. Can you imagine you're working your whole life toward a goal and all of a sudden it just flattens out bottom? She just got so depressed and down and lost her joy, her passion. She wouldn't even go outside. She wouldn't even see friends. And she ended up dying in her sleep as a result of the fear and the stress of how she was going to make it, how she was going to live her life without this job. And that should not have happened. And that breaks my heart because if I would have known that, I could have shared her my 3 tips of how you can live without um, that job, because there is a way where there is no way.
All right, so maybe we talk about the 3 tips just briefly, and I don't know if this this will work here. We'll see if it does. Looks like it will. I'm going to share our screen, and these are the 3 tips to live a joy-filled life free from fear and stress. And Deborah, why don't you go ahead and talk about those 3 tips?
Well,
But before you do, let me share a scripture out of the Bible. It says, "Men's hearts are failing them," and that's what you were talking about, Deborah.
that's exactly what I was talking about.
For of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And we see this now more than ever before. The economic situations in our life, in our economy has changed drastically, and so we want to do something a little different. We want to be able to do what Luke 21:26 says. It's a very, very powerful passage, but this is just portion of that. It says, "Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord." And that's so powerful. And we usually, when we're doing our seminars, we don't do this part, scriptures and things in our Rotary clubs and things like that. But we have a little thing that says, and I have everybody just go right along with me. Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Be steadfast, unmovable, or unshakable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Be steadfast, and that's part of the philosophies of life that you need to hold on to in this journey, where it concerns the directions and where you're putting your heart and what you're building your foundation on. Deborah, go ahead and talk about your 3 tips.
The first tip is, what do you see? Brian Tracy, he has a great quote. I love it. It says, "The key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear." And anxieties, fears, and worries, they feed on our attention, and they grow and grow. They're like monsters in your brain. And the more attention you give them, the stronger they grow. But the less attention you give them, the weaker they get. And that's what I dealt with. I had a lot of fear. Fear of people, fear of the phone. And in my subconscious mind, I could see angry people. People would reject me because I felt that from my own mother, and I was younger. Every time I would call, she would yell at me. So it created a fear of facing people because I thought people would be angry and yell at me. But I got a job where I learned, what do you see? I learned I had to make phone calls, and I changed my life forever, because when I started making these phone calls, I had to change what I saw in my imagination. I saw happy people, excited people, people that wanted to talk to me. It just changed my whole thinking process.
So Deborah, in your new position, you were totally unprepared when you went there, right?
Oh, that's right. I thought I was getting a job to clean house, cook dinner, run errands, because I was a mom. It was a mom job. But no, it was a job where I had to make 1,000 phone calls. Wow, that really shocked me because I was not expecting that, and that's exactly what I did not want to do. But, sometimes God sets you up and puts you right where He wants you, whether you want to be there or not.
And so you learned, when you make a phone call, you pick up the phone, and were you able to, what did you see?
Yeah, it took me several phone calls, at least 20, 30 phone calls before I had to keep telling myself and imagining in my mind, I saw people happy, excited, wanting to talk to me, wanted what I had to offer them. And, every phone time I picked up the phone, I would had to think about it and put in imagination, what did I see? Did I see the angry person or did I see an excited person? And so I chose to see happy people. And that changed my life forever because I'm not afraid of the phone. I'm not afraid of talking to people because I know people are excited to talk to me. The second tip is laughter. Laughter is a powerful antidote to stress, pain, and conflict. And nothing works faster and more dependable than to bring your mind and body back into balance in a good laugh. I found that humor lightens the burdens, inspires hopes, connects you to others, and keeps you grounded, focused, and alert. There's been huge amount of studies, proven facts that laughter releases endorphins and it stops heart attacks because stress is a key underlining thing that causes heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and mental illness. Don't you agree, Scott?
Yeah, it's we just look around us and it's a serious matter. I know that there are those on this call here, this presentation that can attest to that. It's because there's situations that you face and it has a I don't know, it just causes you to close down, shut down, almost go into a fetal position where you just don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to pull away from people, and and that's not a good thing
Yeah, even in
physically.
the Bible talks about it, how laughter is like medicine. The joy of the Lord is your strength. There's so many scriptures that talk about laughter and joy, finding that joy because that lets out all the negativity and all the stress and the pain, and nothing is that bad to make you want to, stop the joy, and it does.
Well, think about the last crisis and thing you went through, and it wasn't by by focusing on the situation how bad it was. We had to literally change our state or by focusing on what we chose to see, and then we had to like one person, a friend of ours, always says. He says you need to go out and throw yourself a party,
That's
and
right.
so that means looking at the joy side of things and choosing not to focus on the negative, and literally finding ways that you can create laughter.
That's right. You know, by getting with good friends or watching your children or your pets, they bring lots of joy and laughter. Or, looking at a good movie, reading a funny book, or telling jokes, or being around people that jokes.
Yeah. So, Deborah? What's the third tip?
The third tip is last but not least, it's gratitude. And just like laughter, it releases the endorphins. There has also been numerous studies that suggest that grateful people are more likely to have higher levels of happiness, lower levels of stress and depression. Every day you should have a journal. Call it your gratitude journal and write at least 1 to 2 things every day of what you are happy about, or what you're going to do to show gratitude to others around you, like a hug, a smile, a phone call, a gift, or just showing gratitude for what this day brought you.
Now, we talked to somebody the other day, and they said that at first, when they started a gratitude journal, it was easy in the beginning, and then as they went through the week and the second week and third week, you had to really dig, and so they had to really think, well, what am I thankful for? Whatever is my gratitude for the day, but it really worked. They said they really testified to the fact that it really was effective.
So these 3 things, what do you see, laughter, and gratitude, are 3 things that I live my life by. Whenever I start feeling down or depressed or a negative situation or a challenge comes my way, I remember not to focus on the negative or the problem. I focus on joy. I focus on gratitude. I focus on changing my mindset. And everything comes out okay because all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. And I know that there's nothing too impossible for God.
That's good. Here's a quote. Who do you know where this came from?
Um, I don't, it was just an anonymous poem I found on the internet. It
Okay,
had no name.
go ahead and read that.
Okay? It says, when we start to count flowers, we cease to count weeds. When we start to count blessings, we cease to count needs. When we start to laughter, we cease to count tears. When we start to count memories, we cease to count years.
That's good. All right, now let's go to the next section where typically in a lot of our seminars and things, this is in our new book, Unlimited You, and what we do is hand out a sheet of paper with a list of feelings, and the list that we typically hand out is a lot longer than this. It's 2-3 pages, and it really helps a person to focus on, well, what are they feeling? Because a lot of times, there's all these, in any given day, in any given moment, we can have many types of feelings, and so to manage those feelings, we basically in our class, so we have people circle different things and how they feel in that given moment, because you walk into a classroom and you may feel apprehensive, you may be excited, you may be in anticipation. So there's a lot of, just right there is, in one single room, everyone experiencing exactly the same thing. It's interesting because they can all be having different experiences. All right, so we sit there in the classroom, we think everybody feels and experiences the same thing. No, there's a variety of feelings going on at the same time. So what we do is we show people that all the feelings that they're typically dealing with, and this is in our book, like I said, I think I cover it in page 32.
That's right.
And think about it, from the moment you wake up. Let's just take just a moment you wake up. Maybe you hear the laughter of a child, and that goes up into, I take all the feelings that you have and positive feelings, and we group them into one emotion called love. And if they're negative, we put them they're grouped into what we call fear. So it may be the laughter of the child, and the graph goes up. This is called a life graph, and you may wake up and you smell the fresh smell of coffee, and you feel that, you experience that, and all of a sudden the telephone rings and there's a phone disruption, and suddenly your emotional state goes down, and you wonder, who is that? And that's pulling you into a fear mode. And then all of a sudden somebody shares, and you pick up the phone, and there's somebody on the phone, and it's a friend, and they're sharing an idea, and the emotional state goes up, and then all of a sudden you leave for work that day, and as you're driving, somebody kind of looks at you, and for whatever reason you feel slighted, even a little, and that pulls you back down. So as you can see, as you go through moment by moment by moment, you're experiencing, you're either in a love mode or you're in a fear mode. And people live their lives based on patterns. And have you ever experienced or seen, anybody that their pattern looks like this? That's pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is, and I know people like that as well.
And what we want to do is help people live a pattern that's more like that.
Yes, and that's how, we all want to be in that graph, but, there's the wind blows and you never know what's going to happen. So we have to
set the sail.
Set the sail.
Good. All right, well, I'm going to go back over to our other camera, and there we go. And we appreciate all of you being here. Really what we're very excited about is we're getting ready to publish our new book, Unlimited You. And if you're on our webpage, you can scroll down below and you'll see it. And what we decided to do, Deborah and I, we talked about it, that we're going to do a pre-publication.
Yes, we're going to practically give it away.
So this is a $15 book plus shipping, but tonight you can pick it up for $10, and that includes shipping. So basically, we're at cost. We're absorbing the cost, because that does cost us to have it printed, and then the shipping, which is about $3. So $10.
Yeah.
So if we would love to ship one of these out to you and get it out to you. We're planning on coming out with the book when?
August 15th. And this book is packed full of experiences and stories and great things about unlimited you.
Yeah, there's some exciting things that stories that maybe for us when we were going through it wasn't so exciting. They were challenging, but we survived. We lived, and we grew through those things. And so
We want to share
yeah,
those with
absolutely.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to help you, assist you, and coach you. And so we're excited to bring this out to the general public, and we want you to take advantage of this tonight.
Yeah, and there's even action steps in the book for step-by-step actions of what you can do to overcome those challenges that you're facing that seem like giant mountains.
So again, we want to appreciate all of you being here. There's just a few of you, but we appreciate you and invite you to be a part of what we're doing. We're excited and we can't wait to take it to the world. So I guess that's it. What we have to share tonight, huh?
Yeah, we'd like to know who's joined us tonight. We want to congratulate you for taking action, because I know you want to live the life that you have a passion for, and there's possibly limitations that you see and feel that are keeping you from moving forward in those passions and your dreams that you have, and we want to help you be unlimited you and see yourself unlimited. So stay in touch with us, because we have lots of workshops that we want to put together.
Jerry asked if it's in digital format in Kindle, and it's not yet. What we plan on doing is when we launch the book, we want to go with Kindle, and then we'll be doing a special. We want to be able to offer it for very inexpensive and drive sales into Amazon. Or just want to push a lot of sales at that time, and so yeah, if you want to wait to do that, you can till then. You can do that if you'd rather read it in that format, Jerry. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it for now, and we just a short time with you, and we appreciate you being here with us. Again, this is Scott and
Deborah.
And so.
And remember to set yourself.
Absolutely. Bye for now.